A lot of points scored that game, not much defense. So, but I want to just start off saying that I was really proud of my team today because these last couple of days have been emotional. It's been emotional the last couple of days. Not only our players but our staff. So I give those guys, all the credit. It wasn't pretty. You can pick about whatever we did, but this game right here was about our guys, rallying together. I thought they showed a lot of character and heart, especially down 5 in the last 4 or 5 minutes, to get back and to be able to finish off the game and win. So again, it wasn't perfect, but it was. This is more about these guys really, not giving up and playing and just, pulling out a win. So, any questions?
How did this team respond from Saturday after your press conference? The win tonight, certainly, but everything in between. How did you characterize their response?
It was emotional. Again, we had a day off the day after the Wake Forest game. Then after that, we got in the gym, but again, unfortunate what happened with one of our team members, and it was to regroup the guys and get them going. That was tough.
In terms of betting, why now?
Sometimes we spend a lot of time with these guys, and we just want the best for them, and sometimes things don't work out, and you just don't have control of time, and sometimes you just don't. So I wish them the best and well, but that's about as far as I'm gonna get into it.
Adrian, if I can follow up, you're a first-year head coach. Dismissing a player has to be a difficult decision. What was that decision like for you?
Obviously it was tough. You have relationships, you build these relationships. It was tough.
Along not the lines of the suspension, but being a first-year head coach, setting your standards. What are these standards that you want your team to live up to?
Again, this is. I really want to talk about the game. I've kind of said what I needed to say about that, and I just don't really want to continue to comment on that. Again, it's unfortunate that he's not here, and I don't want to elaborate any further than that. I just want to wish him well.
Coach, when Chris Bell shoots like he did tonight, does that allow you to give Judah some rest?
I thought today, the way Quadir played, I thought that was really big. Obviously, when Chris is making shots like that, that's a bonus, especially with us. But I thought Quadir came in and gave us a big lift in the first half, and until Judah got going, and this is a play that people may not talk about, but Judah made a huge play at the end by inbounding that ball so quickly and getting it up the court, and Quadir making it taking it to the basket. But I thought Quadir was, I thought he was really good. He gave us a big lift when we wasn't playing the best.
Coach, when a player gets as hot as Chris did, what do you say to him during timeouts and pauses to help him stay in that group?
Nothing. Leave him alone. I thought our guys did a good job of trying to get him some shots. My job is to get him shots when he's going like that, and we came out of a couple of timeouts, executed a couple of plays to get him a couple of little pin downs and some shots. But when the guy's in the zone like that, you don't have to say much. Only thing you're talking to is other people making sure that they get him the ball.
You've talked to Chris a number of times this year about getting back on defense. Can you talk about that block shot the other guy?
Huge, game changer. Chris got back and made a great rundown block. He was frustrated, and we both were frustrated because I thought he left a couple of rebounds out there early in the game. But to be able to run back, and this is something that we've, really kind of stressed the last couple of days, is really trying to get back in transition a little bit. And I just thought he made a huge block. The last time we had a block like that, I believe that was when Alan Griffin was here against the Buffalo early in the year. That was during the pandemic, but it was a huge block where your guy thinks he has 2 points. JJ did a really good job of not fouling and kind of walling up a little bit, and Chris came and made a huge play. That was huge.
Coach, in terms of rebounding, obviously the numbers weren't pretty, but do you have a specific strategy with rebounding out of the zone? Because it seemed like you were sending the guards to try to get open on the fast break. So were you kind of cutting your losses rebounding-wise and trying to get open on the fast break there, or what was your mindset with that?
You said the guards were leaking out.
Leaking out a little bit.
Were they? All right, that's good to know. I was wondering why they was getting so many rebounds. No, I'm joking. No, I thought, they started making some shots, so I thought, our guards have to come back. They do have to come back. It's a good observation. We'll talk about that. But it was the first time that we played this much zone the whole year. So the zone wasn't up to par. We worked on it a couple of days. We work on it every day, but to play it this much, that was the first time we did it all year. So we have to get better at that.
Why did you play so much zone?
We thought, the way Louisville, the way they score, they put pressure on the paint. Huntley Hatfield is a load down there. You can see in the beginning of the game, their game plan was to go inside, and they did a good job of executing. Then they made a couple of shots, and they can drive the ball. Tyler Johnson is a blur. I just didn't think, and they hadn't shot the ball well, to be honest with you, up until today. Today they shot the ball well, but they hadn't shot the ball well. So I just thought it was, the strategy that I wanted to go with.
Did the zone, playing as much zone as you did that just come down to just 6 guys playing over 20 minutes today?
No, it was, again, you, as coaches, you try to put together the best game plan that you think is, that can help, and that's what you do. I mean, I went with the zone, just thought it was something that would help us, but I also knew that, Louisville's a big, physical, strong team. I mean, they get the ball inside, and they playing some of the best basketball, in this last 5 or 6 game stretch. I mean, so and Huntley Hatfield, I mean, he's one of the best big guys in our league. People are not talking about him, but he's one of the best big guys in our league, and they do a good job of getting it inside. So I knew that was going to be trouble. And their guards are quick. I mean, those guys can get downhill. They can get to the paint. James is good. So I just thought we wanted to try to, keep ourselves in foul trouble, not out of foul trouble, but I thought it was just the game plan for this game.
Coach, 18 lead changes, 13 ties in the game. You talked about it being emotional last couple days for the guys, just controlling their emotions and working together and gutting this one out.
I was happy. Again, this was, Louisville, I think they scored 100 points the last game too, so they got up and down, so they don't scored almost 200 points. It was the first time we scored like that in a while, but, again, it's an up and down game, both teams out there battling, teams competing. It was just one of those games. I think I was a part of a couple of these games a couple of years back, and you have some of those games where, it doesn't seem like it's a lot of defense going on, but people are making plays, and I'm sure it was an entertaining game to watch.
You started out talking about how proud you were of this team because this comes after a couple of emotional days. How and when did you tell the team about the decision with them?
Mike, again, I just want to stick to the basketball questions right now. I think I've talked enough and answered enough about that.
How do you expect to use your bigs going forward? Peter had 5 minutes off the bench up. Basically, used 6 guys off today in the rotation.
Yeah, I think it's going to be, game by game. I expect, I expect to get, Monet some playing time going forward. Again, we're a little thin at the center spot. We're going to have to give Malik some breather here and there. But I thought Peter, he gave us some good minutes. The last game today was a little rough, but he got in there and gave Malik a blow. But I think he's growing, he's getting better, he's getting more comfortable playing. So again, we have some options, and it also depends on the team you're playing against. Depending on what their front court looks like.
Coach, there was a moment in the second half where you had a little longer back and forth with Chris on the bench. What do you think he needed to hear in that moment?
I just told him he got to rebound the basketball. That was it. And he said, I tried. I said, no, you got to make it happen. But he got back in there. He got a couple. So, thanks a lot. Thank you, guys.